हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं। वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानाथं को न याति परां गतिम्। यप्पिभं सततं रामचरितामृतसागरम् अतृप्तस्तं मुनिं वन्दे प्राचेतसमकल्मषम्। गोष्पतीकृतवाराशिं मशशीकृतराक्षसम् रामायण महामाला रत्नं वन्दे नीलात्मजम्। अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकी शोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम्। मनोजवं मारुतितुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वादात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। उल्लङ्घसिन्धो सलिलं सलीलं यशोकभग्निं जनकात्मजायाः आधाय तेनैव तदा कलङ्कां नमामि तं प्राञ्जलिराञ्जनेयम्। आञ्जनेयमधिपाटलालनं काञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरुमूलवासिनं भावयामि पवमाननन्तनं। यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं भाष्पवादिपरिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं ममदराक्षसान्तकम्। वेदवेद्ये परे पुंसि जाते दशरथात्मजे वेदप्राचेतसादासीत् साक्षात् रामायणात्मनः। तदुपगतसमाससन्धियोगं समुद्रोद्रोपणधार्तवाक्यबद्धं रघुवरचरितं मुनिप्रणीतं दशशिरसश्च वदं निशामयध्वं। श्रीराघवं दशरथात्मजम् अप्रमेयं सीतापतिं रघुकुलान्नवयरत्नदीपम् आशानुभागमरविन्ददलायधाक्षं रामं निशारविनाशकरं नमामि। वैदेही सहितं सुरतृमदले हैमे महामण्डपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थितम्। अग्रे वाचयति प्रभञ्जनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यः परं व्याख्यान्तं भरदादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति विकास स्वामी नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य वाचमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यां हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। पान्त्वस्मान् पुरुहूतवैरिबलवन्मातङ्गमाद्यत्कटाकुम्भोच्चादविपाडनातिकपटुप्रत्येकवज्रायिताः श्रीमत्कण्ठीरवास्य प्रदसुनकर धारिदारातिदूरप्रध्वस्तत्वान्तः शान्तप्रवृत्तमनसा भाविता भूरिभागैः। Hare Krishna. We welcome all the devotees for this Sri Valmiki Ramayana Pravachana. We are now in the 8th session of this Pravachana. And in the last week, we were discussing about how Dasharatha Maharaja, Dharmatma, he was thinking about Rama's marriage. When Rama attained the age of 12, Dasharatha already he was thinking about how my son will get married and what kind of girl he will get. So in this way, when he was thinking about Rama's marriage, suddenly Sadhu has appeared, and that is Vishwamitra has appeared. So after Vishwamitra has appeared, then the soldiers in hurry, they were frightened to some extent because of Vishwamitra's fear of cursing anybody very easily. So they all came and started shouting, "Oh, he has come! He has come! Who has come? Vishwamitra has come!" So again, Vishwamitra came, and then he was very happy. Dasharatha was very happy, and he said, "Your arrival is just like a person who is waiting for the rain clouds or rain for hundreds and thousands of years, and it's like a human, a mortal. It's getting like an amrita." So he compares that Vishwamitra's arrival to many things, and he was very happy to receive Vishwamitra. And he said, "What is a good time?" We say auspicious time. What is auspicious time? When we get a good patra for giving charity, that is auspicious time. There is no other auspicious time in this world. When you get a good person where to whom you can give some charity, that is the real best time. So you have appeared here, and I'm ready to give anything for you. You please ask me anything. So with this word, he stopped, and then Vishwamitra was very happy. He said, "King, what do you think? Lord is all cognition, and he is very merciful, and he understands our feeling, and he understands about us, and he doesn't send us to anybody who is very miser, who is not willing to do any dharmic activity. He sends us to a proper person uh, where they are ready to give charity, and they are very happy to serve Brahmana. So to those kind of people only Lord will send us. Lord will not send us to useless people. So I have reached a proper person. I know about you and your family, about your dynasty, how charitable they are. So I'm here to ask you for a boon, to ask you for a help. What is that help? I'm going to do an yajna, and while doing this yajna, so many rakshasas, they are coming and disturbing my yajna, and I need your son's help. I need your son's assistance. And who is that son? Kaka Paksha Dharam Veeram, means I want that son who is elderly of your all the sons, that is Rama. I want Rama to come along with me to help me in killing this asuras and protecting this Yajnashala. Then he gives various reasons why Rama has to be sent. But as soon as Dasharatha heard this word, Rama has to be sent, or you please give me Rama, Dasharatha almost fainted. He just fell down from the throne, and he couldn't tolerate that Rama separation. So he started crying, and he was bewildered completely what to say. But as we know, Vishwamitra is very adamant in all the cases. So he started to convince him by various means. And the very good means to convince a person is philosophy. By making him to understand philosophically, then you can convince a person very nicely. So he started explaining who is Rama. Then this is the ultimate aim of Ramayana. Ramayana is not just meant for explaining some person called Rama, but Ramayana is meant for explaining the Parama Purusha, the supreme person, and his qualities and his energies. So whenever there is a chance, Valmiki Rishi, he explains about Rama's position and his supremacy. So he says, "Aham vetmi mahatmanam Ramam satyaparakramam Vashishto api mahatejo yeche me tapasastitaha." He says that Aham vetmi mahatmanam. Hey Dasharatha, don't think this Rama is just your son, not an ordinary human being. Aham veti. I know about your son. What do you know about my son? Mahatmanam. He's Mahatma. He's not ordinary Atma. He's Mahatmanam. Ramam Satyaparakramam. There are various commentaries and various explanation given for this shloka. We have seen in the previous class itself some basic points, and in the first class itself I have mentioned that in Vedas there are many demigods are described, many demigods are glorified. But if you want to come to a conclusion that who is that Paramapurusha, who is that Supreme Lord, which is mentioned among all these demigods, if you want to determine that Paramapurusha, then you have to go to a particular mantra. Because many mantras that describe many demigods, and people are bewildered. Who is that supreme truth which is mentioned in the Vedas? Because Vedas are just glorifying demigods. So how to ascertain, how to understand who is supreme? That's why in each Veda there is a particular portion called Purusha Shukta. So this Purusha Shukta Bhaga explained who is that supreme Purusha. So when you go to this Purusha Shukta, you understand he is that Purusha above all the demigods which are glorified, which are mentioned in the Vedas in various places by various mantras. So this Purusha Shukta is explained again in this shloka. So while explaining Aham Veti Mahatmanam, in Purusha Shukta we find this verse that Vedahamedam Purusham Mahantam Adityavarnam Tamasastu Pare. So this verse, this stanza says that Vedahamedam Purusham Mahantam, that Vedas proclaim that he is that Purusha. Who is that? Hrishchate Lakshmi's Chapatnyo. That is Lakshmi's Pati, Lord Narayana, or Vishnu is that supreme Purusha. So here it is said Vedaham, and Vishwamitra says Aham Veti. In both they have there is a word Veda and Ved and Aham, and it says Mahantam. This shloka says Mahatmanam. He's not just Atmanam, he's Mahatmanam. Mahat Shabda refers to Parama or Purusha Sabda. So this Mahat can be translated as supreme or the controller or great. So all these terms can be translated from the word called Mahatmanam. So here he says Aham Vetmi Mahatmanam. So don't think this boy is just a mortal or your son. I know he is not an ordinary person. He is Mahatmanam. He is a supreme Paramapurusha. And then Ramam. Don't think he is just a beautiful boy. Yeah, he is beautiful boy. He looks beautiful. Ramayati iti Ramaha. One who pleases everyone. Or whenever you see him, you get pleased. So he is called Rama. Don't think he's just a Rama to please you. Ramante yogino anante sadhyananda chidatmani iti Rama padaneshu parabrahma abhidiyate. What it says, he is not only very pleasing, but the yogis, they dwell in this Rama. And Rama is the object or goal of all the rishis, all the yogis. So don't think he's just a beautiful son of you. He is the Lord of all the yogis. Okay, you are saying this, but how to what is the proof? You are saying Rama is supreme Lord, but how I can understand? Then he says, not only me, Vashishto api Mahatejaha. You ask Vasishta itself. He also knows that Rama is supreme truth. Maybe you don't know, but I know. Not only me, Vashishta also knows. Why? Tasya dhira parijananti yonim marichinam padamichanti vedasaha. The Purusha Shukta says, who can understand that supreme Lord? Tasya dhira parijananti yonim. Dhiraha means one who has sense control. So here Vishwamitra says, I'm a rishi. I do yajna or I do anything only to please the Lord. But you are a grahastha, you are staying in the city and you do yajna for your karma kanda, to get a son, to get punya. So I live in the forest, you live in a palace. I eat only very simple food. You eat big feast, and then I meditate and I all the time think about Lord. I hear very submissively this Vedic knowledge, but you stay very comfortably, no tapasya. You stay on the top of the throne and you keep all your mantris and rishis below you, and how you're going to understand from them? You're not going to understand anything from them. So he gives various comparison that I can understand things as it is, but you cannot understand. Why? Tasya dhira parijananti yonim. Only dhiras will understand who is that Lord, not otherwise. So that's why Krishna says in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita that we should all become dhira. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namukhyati. He says we should all become dhira. So he says, Ham veti mahatmanam ramam satya parakramam. He is not Ramam only, he is satya parakramam. What is satya parakramam? That Rama na avijitya nivartate. He never comes back in a defeat. Means there is no one to defeat him. It is not the only meaning that he is satya parakrama. His nija parakrama, his real energy, his real ability is that he can create, maintain, destroy everything just like that. He doesn't need anybody's assistance. So he does all these things just like a play very easily by means of his inhale and exhale. So don't underestimate that Rama is just a mortal. He is just your son. He is Satya Parakramam Paramatma. He is the Supreme Lord. Mahatmanam. So even I know, and Vashishto api. He says Vashishto api. What is Vashishto api? Api means I know in full. Vashishta, maybe this fellow, maybe he knows little. Vashishta api means it has that meaning also. So Vashishta also may be knowing that Rama is Supreme Lord. Okay, both of you know. Only both of you know. No. Eche ime tapasi stitaha. Tapasi stitaha. Those who do tapasya, they all know that Rama is Supreme Lord. Okay, Swamiji, please wait here. I will go in the forest to find out who are all the tapasis and ask about their opinion that whether my son is supreme or not. Should I go and do all this thing? Then Vishwamitra says, no need. Ime means here. Just see who are all the tapasvis sitting around you in your own court. They are tapasvis. They do tapasya. Even though they're staying in your palace, even though this palace is full of enjoyable items for eyes, for ears, for tongue, for skin, but they stay like a tapasvi. Tapasvi stitaha. They stay in tapasya. They live very simply. They live austere life. Why they have to live here? Staying in the palace, why they have to do tapasya? They can go in the forest and do their tapasya. Why they are staying here? Please understand. They're not staying here to see your beauty or to see your ability of judging and ruling the country. They're not here to do that. They are here so that they can see Rama every day. So please try to understand. These tapasvis are here. They are here only for seeing Rama and only for understanding, only to get his blessing, only to get his vision. They are staying here. So please try to understand that this Rama is not different from the Supreme Lord. Aham veti mahatmanam. So then Vishwamitra says, if you have any doubt, you please consult with all of your ministers and Vashishta. If they agree, then you can leave Rama. You don't need to, I'm not pushing you very much. Please take your time, just discuss with everyone and let me know. But don't delay. Don't delay too much. I need to go because my yajna is going to get started. I need to go. Please make some decision. Don't feel anxiety. I know about Rama and all these people they know. And Vedas, they proclaim Rama is Supreme Lord. So please give Rama with me. When Vishwamitra was keep on pushing him, keep on saying all these things, then immediately this Dasharatha, he fell down and he was in unconscious state for one muhurta kala. Means around like 40-45 minutes. He's not that much weak person. He was just lying down and thinking what to say to this man. Because Vishwamitra is very powerful. And if you reject, if you say no, then he may curse. He may curse Rama, Lakshmana, he may curse us. He may curse this whole country. He may curse this world also. And he can do anything upside down. So what to say? So thinking like this, he was in Shoka Sagara. He was in the distress ocean. He was just sleeping like, and then he was thinking, what answer should I say? Then he found out, then he came up with an answer. Now I will say this answer and I will pacify Vishwamitra. So with this answer, he will get pacified. Now he recollects his energy, his courage, and then he wakes up And then he manages to sit himself very comfortably on the Simhasana. And he says, ऊनषोडश वर्षो मे रामः राजीवलोचनः न युद्ध योग्यताम् अस्य पश्यामि सह राक्षसैः ऊनषोड वर्षो मे. He says ऊनषोड वर्षो मे. Oh Rishi, oh Vishwamitra, my son has not yet even completed 16 years. He did not tell 12 years. Rama was 12 years, but he did not want to mention that Rama has attained 12 years, because even if you say he's 12 years, he may take. Okay, he's already 12-year boy. Why are you keeping it home? Give me. He may take. So without mentioning his age, he just said he has not yet even attained the major age. During that time, 16 was considered as major. So they can make their own signature and they can make their own decision, and they have their own name. Previously, before 16, they are addressed with father name. Means whenever they want to be addressed, they don't call by the personal name. They say he is Dasharatha's son, he is Janaka's daughter. Like that they will mention. They will not directly mention the person's name because they are very minor. It is Unasha Shoda Varishome. He is not even 16. Rishi, please try to understand. And then he says, May means my. He is my son. Ramaha Rajiva Lochanaha. Please see him. He's Rama. He's very sweet. How can you call him to the forest to kill and to fight and to stay awake in the forest and to walk around with barefoot in the forest and in the hot sun? How can you think to take Rama in this way? So he's asking, he's Rama. Don't think he's Parasurama. He's saying he's my Rama. He's Dasharatha Rama. He is not Parashurama. Maybe you misunderstood. There is one more Rama called Parashurama. He is the person who is killing around and beating people, and he is like, even though he's a Brahmana, he appears, he has killed Kshatriyas and he has ability to kill all these Rakshasas. But my son, he's Ramaha, me Ramaha. And then he goes on adding, he says, if you see, when you see any beautiful boy, you can call them, you can, pamper them, you can just play with them. It is not that, okay, you see some beautiful boys, okay, you call them, hey, you come, both of you catch each other's shika, now you fight. Sometimes they do like this in the villages. They do all this naughty activities, that when you find some beautiful boys, they will make them to fight and they will laugh. Elderly people will laugh seeing them how they are fighting. So don't think like that. My son is very small, very sweet. He's my son. Don't even think about taking them to the forest. He's a very small boy. And he gives Rajiva Lochanaha. He says Rajiva Lochanaha. What is Rajiva Lochanaha? Whose eyes are just like lotus. Raja Iva Lokshana. Why his eyes are like lotus? Because it's very beautiful to see. It is very cooling to see. And it has red tinge. Lotus has red color, and his eyes, Rama's eyes, has also little red tinge. And it is long like lotus. And in lotus, you have Makaranda. And similarly, Rama's eyes has Prema Makaranda, means full of love. And also, when you see lotus, you feel so pleased. It is very nice, very happy to see. In the similar way, when you see Rama, it is Sadaiga Priyadarshanah. When you start seeing Rama, you always want to see him, and you don't want to say anything else, because nothing looks beautiful other than Rama's eyes. So see that eyes, Rajiva Lochanaha. So with this understanding, Dasharatha was not mentioning, because when you mention all these things, Vishwamitra will have more desire to catch him. Because if you see, Vishwamitra, when he was mentioning about Rama, he says, Kakapaksha Dharam Veeram. Vishwamitra just noticed that Rama's curly side hair, and he got attracted just by seeing his black curly hair. And if you go and introduce to Vishwamitra, you please look at his beautiful lotus eyes, then he will definitely want Rama and he will take him. So he was not mentioning like that. he has different understanding. He says, when you see a lotus, it blooms in the daytime, and in the night time, it doesn't bloom. It just comes down. So it closes. So in the similar way, Rama's eyes are like lotus. In the morning time, it blooms. Rama is very active in the daytime. He goes around, plays around, eats, and making fun with his brothers. But when it's night, during night time, Kausalya, she gives milk, and then Rama is holding a glass, and he's like, so in the evening time, his eyes cannot be opened. His eyes automatically goes to the closing stage. So in the similar way, like lotus goes to closing stage in the evening time, similarly Rama also goes to sleep very early. And these Rakshasas, they come in the night time to hunt, to fight. So Rama is not fit to fight with these Rakshasas because he goes to sleep very early. So he says, Ramaha Rajiva Lochanaha na yuddha yogyatam. So he doesn't have this yogyata. He doesn't have this ability to fight. Ashye pashyami saha rakshasaihi. So with these Rakshasas, he cannot fight. He says, I can come. I will come with my Akshaugani. Akshaugani, we hear this word Akshaugani. So in Mahabharata also, that the Dhritarashtra, this Kauravas, they had 11 Akshauganis, and Pandavas, they have 7 Akshaugani. So let us, I got interesting details here about Akshaugani. What is this Akshaugani means? In a war time, when you have one group called Patti, Patti means it has one chariot, one elephant, and 5 soldiers, means those who are walking, and the foot soldiers, and you have 3 horses. This combination is called Patti. And 3 Pattis make 1 Sena Mukha. So 3 Sena Mukhas make 1 Gulma. And then 3 Gulmas make 1 Ghana. 3 Ghanas make 1 Chamu. 3 Chamus make 1 Anikini. And 10 Anikinis make 1 Akshaukini. So this is the measurement which is given in the commentary. This is just side information. So he says that Rama, my Rama, he has not yet even completed Dhanurveda. He is not fit to fight, and he cannot fight with this Asuras because they fight with mantra bhala. But my Rama doesn't know any mantra bhala. He doesn't know any mantra astras. So they cannot survive. Leave Rama's ability. I cannot survive without Rama. Without Rama, if I get separated from Rama, even 1 Muhurta Kala, I cannot survive. I will leave my body. I cannot do that. So if you want to take Rama, still you take, but I will also come, and I will come with all Chaturanga Sainya. I will take all my Sainya, and I will also come. Our ministers will come. Everyone will come. We will all go together, and we will go to the forest to fight with this demon, and let us do this yajna. So he's saying he's my Rama. Please try to understand. After 60,000 years, I got this son. How can you think that I will give my son to you to go in the forest and to fight with this Rakshasas? It is impossible. You cannot take him. Naramam netum arhasi. He continues these words again and again. He gives various reasons. And in the end, he says, Naramam netum arhasi. Naramam netum arhasi. Naramam netum arhasi. He continues these words again and again. You cannot take Rama. You cannot take Rama. You cannot take Rama. Because I have heard in the forest how these Rakshasas are there. I heard this Ravana, who is descendant of Pulastya. I heard how powerful he is and how ferocious he is. And I know Subhagu, Maricha, Tataka, they're all there. And it is very difficult for my son Rama to fight with them. So I cannot do that. As soon as he heard this, as soon as Vishwamitra, he heard this, he became completely angry. He was just like when you do yajna, in the end, they give Purnahuti. And while giving Purnahuti, the fire just bursts around. Maybe in some yajna kunta you may have seen. During yajna time, the fire will be normally burning. And when you give complete Purnahuti, when you pour all the ghee and all the ingredients, then just immediately the fire burns out. So in the similar way, he just burned out. Vishwamitra, he becomes so angry like that fire from that Yajna because Nachame Krodam Utrujam, he has given already said, he has already said, Utrashtum, Nachame Krodam Utrashtum. In the previous chapter, we have seen that Vishwamitra said, I have given up my Krodha. So what does it mean? I have given up means he said, I don't want to give up. Means I don't want to give my Krodha on the demons, but I don't want to release my Krodha, but I'm having, because it is also a guna. Krodha is also guna, and it is very helpful at particular time. So he is saying, I'm holding that Krodha. So now he thinks that Nachame Kodam Utrishtam, now it's a time that I should release some anger so that my Karya Siddhi will get some phala. Otherwise, looks like it doesn't going to work. This Dasharatha is not going to hear. So if I become little angry, then things will work. So he got little angry. And as soon as he got angry, all the demigods, they got fearful. And sun and moon, they become very dim. And then Vayu became very slow. Whole world got shaken like Bhukampa has come. And everybody was shocked. And as soon as Vashishta, he sees this, what is happening, he gets up and he says that Vashishta came forward and he said that to Dasharatha, now he is going to explain to Dasharatha. What is going to explain? He is not going to explain that Ayya says, I also know Rama is supreme. No, there is no use. Because already Vishwamitra had tried to establish that Rama is supreme, but Dasharatha did not understand. And this is the most frustrating part for Vishwamitra, because he's thinking what kind of fellow he is. To him, I'm giving lecture for 1 hour. Raham veti paratma, aham veti mahatmanam, aham veti mahatmanam. I know that Rama is supreme. I know that Rama is supreme. I'm explaining him for 1 hour, but this fellow looks like he doesn't understand. This happens to many people. Sometimes we want to explain to people about the supremacy of the Lord, about the glories of the Lord. I know a few people, those who are attending this Bhagavad Gita and Mahabharata, and so this Bhagavata Upanyasa, after hearing all this understanding, they say all this mission, this different missions, what we have, this so-called Swamis and so-called Ammas, they say, how can you say they are not supreme? How can you say they are not gurus? How can you say they are not God? Please come and try to understand. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is explaining who is supreme. In Bhagavatam, Vyasadeva is explaining each and every chapter that who is supreme. What does it mean by supreme? What are his qualities? What are his greatness? So they're trying to establish all these things, but these people are so foolish, they cannot understand. So that's why Vishwamitra got very angry. You see, I'm explaining to this fellow, this foolish fellow, but he doesn't understand. I'm explaining him is Supreme Lord. What he's saying, you see, my son is Ramaha Rajiva Lochanaha. I'm saying he's Supreme Lord, and he's saying he's my son. You see his son, you see his eyes, he's like lotus eyes. So what kind of fellow he is? He got so much angry. Now Vashishta is not going to do that. Vashishta, he understood. It is very difficult to establish the Rama supremacy, because this jnana will not work. When there is prema, jnana will not work. Prema will win. You can establish by jnana, you can establish the supremacy by various philosophical understand, but when there is prema, only prema will win. Like we have seen with the history of gopis and Uddhava. Uddhava want to go to Vrindavana, and to pacify these gopis, he wanted to explain that how Krishna is Supreme Lord and he's all pervading, and he's not a simple cowherd boy who belongs only to gopis, to this Vrindavana. He wanted to explain them. He wanted to make them understand. He wanted to pacify them. But as soon as he went there, he started crying and rolling on the ground. He became like mad person. Then he becomes servants of all the gopis. He said, when he was leaving Vrindavana, he said, even if I can become even if I become a blade of grass in the Vrindavana, I'll be more fortunate, because all these gopis' lotus feet will fall on my head. And that is my Purushartha. And that is my goal of my life. Why? Because he understood they have such a love. Wherever I go, I don't see anything other than Krishna. I have heard that Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. All these sentences I have heard, but now I'm seeing presently, means practically, I'm seeing how all these gopis are seeing Krishna everywhere. Wherever you go, they see Krishna. Wherever they see, wherever they sing, whatever they hear, whatever they eat, whenever they sleep, everything is full of Krishna. They're completely Krishna consciousness. So why? Because of their prema. When there is a prema, when there is love, you cannot forget that person. When there is no love, even if you try to pull that person in your meditation, it is very difficult. Like Bharata Maharaja, he was meditating on his own endeavor, but at one point of time, deer came inside and everything got spoiled. But you see, with the gopis, even if they want to forget Krishna, they cannot do that. That's how the prema works. So he knows that, Vashishta knows that if I'm going to establish about Rama supremacy, the Dasharatha will not work. For Dasharatha, it will not help. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to speak about the glories of Vishwamitra. So when you speak about the glories of Vishwamitra, then Dasharatha will accept, okay, Rama can go with them. So he understood this and he started speaking. You see, Dasharatha, it is not good what you are doing. You have already given a word that whatever you ask, I will fulfill. So you should take care of your word, because you are coming in such a high dynasty, such a glorious dynasty. So you should never ever be adharmic. You should always fulfill your promise. This is first argument he says. And then in the next one he says that don't think Rama will be hurt. Vishwamitra is there. If Vishwamitra is there, you don't have any fear. He will take care of Rama. And not only that, no one is like Vishwamitra in anything, in tapasya, in determination, in giving boons, in taking care of people. There is no one like Vishwamitra. So you can very happily send Rama with him. And Vishwamitra, he has gained so many weapons in the form of mantras. For thousands and thousands of years, he's doing meditation, and he has sakshatkaram. He has sakshatkaram of many demigods. And these demigods, they have given him weapon, and he has all the weapons. If he want, he can kill even Indra. Just understand, he can kill even Indra. So Vishwamitra is that much powerful. If that Vishwamitra, he is coming and calling your son, means it is not for his benefit, it is for your son's benefit. So please try to understand. If he wants, he can use that astra and he can kill these demons in a minute, but he doesn't want to do that. He wants to install, he wants to give all those weapons to you, to your son, so that your son will become powerful. So please send your son with Vishwamitra. He will take care. If Vishwamitra is there, you don't have to worry. So in this way, that Vashishta is trying to educate Dasharatha. Dasharatha got convinced. He was completely happy. He said, my God, how merciful is Vishwamitra. Because to do something good, to benefit my son, he has come all the way and he is giving me something. How foolish I am. By means of my foolishness, by this time, I would have stopped from my sons getting all those great boons and weapons. How foolish I am. So he was very happy and he was ready to send Rama. So he turned back and Rama is already ready. He is with his bow and arrow. He is ready to go. And Lakshmana is staying in front of him. Lakshmana is saying, I will go first along with Rama. And they said, okay, you take both of them. And then Kausalya, she called Rama and then she said, okay, now you have trained in your Dhanurveda. And after training this Dhanurveda, now you got the first duty. Now you got first seva to serve this great Rishi. So please go carefully, serve that Rishi very nicely and get all the blessing. So with this blessings, he sent. When as soon as Vishwamitra got this Rama and Lakshmana, then immediately environment became very pleasing. Cool breeze started to flow on that. And demigods, they were showering flowers from there, from the sky. And then again, it is said, Kakapakshadaram. Again, Vishwamitra saw only Lord Rama's this side curly hair locks. And he was very happy. He just received Rama and started walking. He did not even turn back. He just went so fast to Sarayudhira. Means from the palace, he walked so fast to Sarayudhira, he did not even see whether Rama and Lakshmana are following or not, because they know they will definitely will follow. So he was going very fast, and it was like when Shiva was going in the behind Ganapati and Kumara, means Kartikeya, when they are following. So it was, the scene was just like that when Vishwamitra was taking Rama and Lakshmana, and he did not even turn back. Why? When you get something valuable, you should immediately run away. Otherwise, the person's mind may change. Like Dasharatha, he has given Rama. Now, when Rama has gone outside, Dasharatha mind may change. He say, "Okay, Sumantra, please call my son Rama and Lakshmana. I'm not going to give them." So his mind may change. So to avoid that, immediately Vishwamitra ran, and then these boys are also running fast behind them. And as soon as they reach Sarayudhira, then Vishwamitra turned back and he saw Rama. He uttered this word Rama. It was very pleasing. He was very happy. He said, Rama, are you all thirsty? Are you all hungry? Okay, if I am thirsty and hungry, what are you going to give me? Because we are in the middle of forest. What are you going to give me? So Vishwamitra says, you see, I'm going to give you two mantras, Bala, Adibala. So with this mantra, you will get so much power. You will not feel hunger. You will not feel thirst. You will not feel tired. You will get so much energy. You will get all the knowledge about the different astras. So I'm going to teach you that mantra. Please get purified in the Sarayu water and come back. So Rama and Lakshmana goes and they purify their hands and legs, mouth and face, and they come and sit. Now, now Vishwamitra is teaching them Bala, Adipala mantra. When you have these two mantras, you will not feel hunger, you will not feel thirst, you will not feel tired. So they have all these mantras. And then Dasharatha, now Vishwamitra is teaching. Now you should understand, just before, just like in the Dasharatha's court, that Vishwamitra was trying to establish that Rama is supreme. Aham veti mahatmanam Ramam satya parakaramam. He was arguing that Rama is supreme, Rama is supreme, Rama is the supreme Paramatma, he is the controller, he is the maintainer. He was mentioning all this thing. And now he's thinking, oh my God, this Rama and Lakshmana, they should be hungry. How I'm going to feed them? They should be very tired. How I'm going to help them? Now he has become prema. See, this is what happens. When you are beginner, in the beginning stage of our devotion service, we think how Lord will save me. But when you advance in devotion service, how I'm going to please him, how I'm going to make him happy, how I'm going to serve him. So this will be the mood of the devotee. So in the similar way, here Vishwamitra, even though he knows that he is Supreme Lord, he doesn't have hunger, he doesn't have tired, he doesn't have thirsty, but still out of love, he is teaching him, he is teaching both of them this Bala and Adipala mantra. So even Krishna says, Vedaham samadhitani vartamanani cha Arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. And this is also very interesting thing, that I want to benefit the Lord. It is not that I want something from the Lord. I want to benefit the Lord. This is his mood. Krishna says very clearly, Vedaham samadhitani. I know complete Veda. Vartamanani cha Arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. I know past, I know present, I know future, but nobody knows me. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. And also we saw now Vedaham etam purusham mahantam. He is the knower of the Veda and he knows complete Veda. But now Vishwamitra is thinking, I should teach him this mantra for his benefit. So this is how the devotee's mind will change. Even though they know the Lord is supreme, but their love will overpower that supremacy. It will cover their intelligence and it will make them prema bhakta. It will make them to melt in their heart for the love of their Lord. So in the similar way, here it is said that that Vishwamitra was teaching them Bhala and Adipala mantra, and they learned this mantra. After that, immediately Vishwamitra started to pull grass from here and there. And Rama Lakshmana didn't understand why he is pulling grass. So they thought, okay, we will also help them. So they were also pulling grass and they were making big bundles. And then after Vishwamitra made them like a bed, beautiful bed. So Rama is telling to Lakshmana, you see Lakshmana, now Rishi is going to take rest. So both of us will do Pada Seva for this Rishi. we got such a huge blessing that now we are with Vishwamitra, and Vishwamitra is going to sleep, and now we are going to Pada Seva. We have got this big service. Rama is explaining. After making this bed, now Vishwamitra is calling, Rama, Lakshmana, please come and sleep. As soon as they heard, they were shocked. How can we sleep? He's our Acharya, he's our Guru, he's so elderly, he's Rishi. How can we sleep in front of him? But they should follow what they say. We should not have arrogance. Oh, no, I will not do. If they say, then we should do. So Rama and Lakshmana, they went and they started to sleep on the Kusha grass. And here Valmiki Rishi is explaining this Ghatta very, very nicely. I will just read one shloka from this book. How they were sleeping very beautifully. And he gives very nice analogies by seeing. What is it? No. Okay. And I want to just know how many of you doesn't understand Tamil in this group? Those who are attending here, this class, how many of you doesn't understand Tamil? If you can just make a hand raise, then I will know whether we should have this classes in English or in Tamil. Okay, Ramya, Rajivan. Only one. Rajeshwari, Krishna Swami. Okay. Only 3 people, they don't understand Tamil. All others understand Tamil. Who doesn't understand Tamil? Only Krishna Swami. Other than this, everyone understands Tamil, correct? Only one doesn't understand, Krishna Swami. Or do we have any other who doesn't understand Tamil? Okay. There are few, looks like. Because anyway, I'm doing this Ramayana in Tamil also. I was thinking, I started this Ramayana in English because there are many devotees who are previously asking about this class in, yes, I understand, Surajit also. So many devotees are asking to start this class in English, and then there are some devotees who are asking in Tamil also. So we started in both the languages. So I just wanted to check if we have many devotees in English, we'll continue this. Otherwise, we'll just continue in Tamil itself. So anyway, looks like there are a few devotees who doesn't understand Tamil, and anyway, we have started. So we will go with the flow and let's see how it goes. So here it is a shloka. It is said that Dasharatha Nripasanu Sattamabhyam Trinasayane Anuchita Tadoshidabhyam Kaushika Sutta Vachana Anulalita Abhyam Sukaiva Sa Vibhavavu Vibhavaricha. He says it's like Valmiki Rishi is asking question to Rishi, to this Vishwamitra. Hey Vishwamitra, what you have done? Is it proper? What you are doing? Why? What he has done? He says that Dasharatha Nripasunu Sattamabhyam. You see Dasharatha, how he was maintaining Rama. He was keeping him in a high palace, and he was glorifying, he was taking care of them very nicely. And then Trinasayane Anuchita Tadoshidabhyam, and how this Kausalya was taking care of Lord Rama. She used to make very beautiful bed like a milk foam, like ocean's foam. So on that bed, then she will make Rama to lay down, and she will give milk in golden pot with fruits and sweets, and there will be camphor in the sides, and in front of him the people who are playing veena, they will play veena very mildly, Kalyani, Kambodi, all these rahas they will play very mildly, and hearing this Rama will sleep very happily, very peacefully in his palace. And to such Rama, you are making such an injustice. You are bringing them in this forest and you are making them to sleep on this Trinavrata, means on this grass bed. Is it proper? So he's asking like question. And then he says, Kaushika Sutavacho Anulalitabhyam. And then he gives another analogy. He says, even if Kausalya, she will sit near Rama and sing Lalana, means Lalapi, means different song they sing to make child to sleep. Even when Kausalya used to sing, she will sing until Rama goes to sleep. And then when Rama goes to sleep, Kausalya will go to sleep. But here it is said that Kaushika Sutavacho Anulalita Abhyam. This Kaushika means this Vishwamitra, he was also singing very, very pleasingly. He was telling very beautiful stories. And how long? Whole night. He did not go to sleep. He was just watching how they are sleeping very beautifully. He could not close his eyes. Okay, now Rama Lakshmana, they went to sleep. Let us go to sleep. No. He was just watching them. He couldn't stop his eyes from watching them. And he did not go to dhyana also. Okay, they are sleeping, let me go to dhyana. If he goes to dhyana, then he is the number one fool. Why? Because whom he is going to meditate, that person is laying down here. So this is his real dhyana, to see his complete night. So he was looking at him. He was looking at them whole night. Kaushika Sutavachano Nanulalita Abhyam. Then it is said here, Sukamiva sa vibhavavu vibhavaricha. It becomes sukamiva. It becomes very happy. It becomes very pleasing. For whom? Kshanamiva. There is two versions. There is two writings. One is sukamiva. In other writing is kshanamiva. So what it is said means the whole night become like in one moment, or the whole night was very pleasing. For whom? For Vishwamitra, one who was watching, and for Lord Rama and Lakshmana, those who are lying down. For both of them, the whole night became like a moment, and it was very pleasing. Is the meaning? No. The Acharyas, they explain in a different way. They say, it is said here, Vibhavavu Vibhavaricha. That Vibhavari Devi means Ratri Devi. So for that Ratri Devi, it became like a moment, because she was completely watching Rama sleeping, which she will never get at any point of time. Why? Because in the palace, they will keep nice lamps everywhere. So Ratri Devi cannot enter inside the palace. So she never has this chance to see Rama sleeping. And now this Ratri Devi, now she is watching Rama and Lakshmana sleeping very beautifully. And for her, the whole night become like a moment. And now she doesn't want to go. She wants to stay and see Rama's beautiful face. But now Sandhya Devi is coming. Next Devi means morning time is going to come. Now Sandhya Devi is coming and pushing her. You get out. It's my time. I should come. With red eyes, she is looking. And then this Ratri Devi with painful heart. Now she has to leave. And now Sandhya Devi is coming. So that's why it said here, Kshanamiva bhavavo vibhavaricha. So in this way, that they went to sleep very peacefully. And in the morning time, the morning happened. And then Vishwamitra, he gets up very early. He goes to sleep, and then he goes to take bath and finishes his bath, and he comes back. After coming back, he sees still this Rama and Lakshmana are sleeping very beautifully. Especially when young boys, when their young children are sleeping, when you see them, it looks so pleasing, so happy, so beautiful to see them sleeping. So even if it is the case for ordinary boys, what to speak of Supreme Lord? Supreme Lord in the form of small boy, he's sleeping, and to take this darshan, it is very amazing. And then this Vishwamitra, he comes and sees this, and he was very happy to see this. And then now he sings this very famous Kausalya Supraja Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartate Uttishta Narasardula Kartavyam Daivamantikam. This is the shloka with Vishwamitra started to wake Rama and Lakshmana. And from that time, Vishwamitra, he uttered this shloka like many years ago during Rama's appearance, during Rama Avatara. And still now, if you want to wake up Lord, we use this mantra to any Lord. If it is Shalagrama Shila, even if it is in temple, in your puja room, in all the loudspeakers, in Tirumala, Tirupati, everywhere. If you want to wake up this law, if you want to wake up Lord, they use this mantra. Kausalya Supraja Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartati. It has very beautiful meaning, and acharyas they dive deep inside this meaning, and they explain so amazing meanings. So when we hear all these meanings, then our mind automatically gets attracted and gets soaked with Krishna consciousness. We doesn't have to endeavor too much to make our mind Krishna conscious. When you start reading this Ramayana, and when you hear from Acharya's commentaries, then immediately our minds get attracted and it gets soaked in Rama's thought. We have no chance to think anything else. So they explain this. Kausalya Supraja. Hey Kausalya Putra. Why Kausalya Putra? Because I don't know what tapasya she has done. She has got you a son. Kausalya Supraja. Supraja means very fortunate, very wonderful son. Most fortunate mother. And he is now wondering how Kausalya must be happy seeing Rama's every day like this. I got this chance today to see Rama during his waking up time. So Kausalya gets this chance every day to see Rama like this, and how happy, how fortunate she should be. And then he says, Kausalya Supraja. Why? Because as soon as the child wakes up, the first word the child will utter is Amma, or mother, Amma. So it must be so pleasing when the small child with its innocent words, with its innocent voice, when the child calls Amma or Mata or Mataji, mother, whatever, in their own language, Maya, it becomes so pleasing even for small ordinary child. What about Lord Rama, when Lord Rama calls? And then he says, Kausalya Supraja. Why Kausalya? Why not Dasharatha? Because when I went to ask for Lord Rama, then Dasharatha was making so many inquiries. He doesn't want to give immediately Rama. He was asking this and that opinion, and at last, because of Vashishta, I got this Rama, not because of my request. So I don't want to involve Dasharatha in this. I want to praise Kausalya. Why? Because Kausalya did not make even one inquiry. As soon as she heard that I have come here to take Rama, she, with full heart, with happy heart, she has sent. So that's why I have soft corner for Kausalya. She says, Kausalya Supraja Rama Purva. Kausalya Supraja Rama. He's saying Rama. He's calling once Rama. You are so pleasing. What happened? Kausalya Supraja Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartate. Purva Sandhya Pravartate. Rama, I can watch you whole night. Like I was watching you whole night sleeping. I can watch you whole day also sleeping. It's so pleasing for me. You are so beautiful. But it's your duty, because you are dutiful. You have all the kartavyas to do. So you should wake up and do all your kartavya. You should do all your anushtana, because you are very dharmic person. You follow all the dharmas very properly. So you should wake up. Why you should wake up? Sandhya pravartate. Sandhya is coming up. Daytime is coming up. So you should get up. Then uttishta. Please get up. Uttishta. Narashardhula. Narashardhula means best among the man. Krishna says, no, yadyat acharate shreshtas taddadeve tarojana sayat pramanam kurte lokastat anuvartate. So whatever leaders they do, common people will follow. So you are Narashardhula. You are the best among men. If you are not following the dharma, if you are not waking up early, then nobody will wake up early. That's why we call Brahma Muhurta. Why it's called Brahma Muhurta? Because Brahma wakes up every day. Brahma means not Lord Brahma. It is Brahmam. Brahma means Krishna. So Krishna wakes up every day at 4 o'clock. That's why it's called Brahma Muhurta. If he doesn't wakes up, then it's not Brahma Muhurta. So because he wakes up, it's called Brahma Muhurta. So when he wakes up, we also should wake up naturally. So it's a Narashardhula. Name Parthasti Kartavyam Trishalokeshu Kinchana Nanavaptam Avaptavyam Vartayashu Karmani. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Name Parthastu Kartavyam, hey Partha, hey Arjuna, I don't have any duties to perform. Name Parthastu Kartavyam, Trishu Lokeshu Kinchana. In this three world, there is not even a single fellow who can tell me you should do this. There is no one to tell. No one can give me order. Still, I will follow all this. Why? Because to set an example. So here, the Acharyas, they say that Vishwamitra is saying, Narashardula, please get up. Rama is saying, you see, I'm Supreme Lord. Why are you waking me? Why are you waking me up? Okay, you are Supreme Lord in Vaikuntha Loka. I'm not coming to Vaikuntha Loka and saying, Supraja, Rama Purva, Supraja, please wake up, please wake up. I never come to Vaikuntha and asking you to get up. I'm asking you here. Why? Because you are now in Narashardula. You are in human form of life. You are in human form. So, because you have taken this human form, now you should follow all these rules and regulations because you will set an example for the people. So you say, Uttishta Narashardula. Then Narashardula. Then why I have appeared as a Narasimha also? Why you didn't come that time? Oh, Narasimha, please, Swamiji, please stop. Now you have appeared during Sandhya time. You should do Sandhya Vandana and then you can kill Hiranyakashipu. Why you didn't come during that time? You see, during that time you came a Narasimha. And Narasimha means half man, half human. I don't know what Dharma Shastra belongs to you. Because Dharma Shastras are explained for humans. But you are like human and animal. So I don't know which Dharma Shastra to refer to you. I didn't come during that time. But now you are like a human being. I have come here. Uttishta Narashardhula. Why I should wake up? Kartavyam Devamandikam. To do glorious activities. That is Sandhya Vandanadi Nitya Karma. Nitya Anushtana you should do. Why? Not for karma, not for getting some phala. When you do Sandhya Vandana, then you get some phala. Means to attain Lord. But the Sandhya Vandana, the Sandhya Devi, what she does, she helps everyone to get this phala, to get moksha. But Sandhya Devi itself, she doesn't go to moksha. She just stays here in this world. So what is her happiness? Now Rama is coming and doing this Anushtana. Now Sandhya Devi is very happy. She's thinking Rama is going to come and do my Anushtana. So this is the real happiness for Sandhya Devi. You see, Sandhya Devi, she's helping everyone to go to moksha, but she stays here. But now Sandhya Devi is very happy that Rama is coming and going to do my part. Like Ekadasi Vrata. When Lord is doing Ekadasi Vrata, he is not going to get benefit, but Ekadasi is very pleased. So in a similar way, that Sandhya Devi is very pleased. Now Rama is going to do my upasana, my karma. So in that way, that Sandhya Devi is waiting. Surya Bhagavan is waiting there. He is waiting there to give your argya. He is shining very, very beautifully to see how you are going to do this, all this argya and all this darpana, all this Gayatri mantra japa, all this nitya karma anushtana. So they are all waiting. Purya kartavyam devamantikam. So you should get up and do your daily nitya karma anushtana. So Rama, Lakshmana, they woke up. They went to Sarayu Nadi. They took their bath. They did their Gayatri mantra japa. And then after that, they did some other mantra japa also. And then they came back. And they were walking through an ashrama. It's called Kama Ashrama. And nobody was there. So Rama, Lakshmana, they were asking, what is this ashrama? What is this all about? Who were staying here? What happened to this ashrama? Then Vishwamitra says this belongs to Kamadeva. Once he was disturbing Shiva and Shiva burned him alive and he became like pieces. So it's called Ananga. He doesn't have a body. He doesn't have Anga. He doesn't have any bodily part. So he's called Ananga. And because he was here, he was burned here. So it's called Anga Desha. So this place belongs to that Kamadeva, and we will stay here tonight here, and we will cross tomorrow the other side of Ganga. So they stayed the overnight there, and next day they started walking, and they were going through Sarayu Nadi, and they reached Ganga Tira also, and then they started now walking inside a very thick forest. So Rama and Lakshmana, they're asking, what kind of forest is this? It looks so horrible. It looks so fearful. What kind of forest is this? Now, Vishwamitra started to explain that this forest belongs to this Tataka and Maricha and Subhagu. So with this, I will stop here. And tomorrow we'll hear about Tataka and Subhagu Vada. And also we will hear about how Yajna Samrakshana happened. and maybe we'll have Ganga's descendants, how Ganga has descended to this world through Bhagirath, all these stories. And hopefully by next week we'll have Sita Kalyanam. So this will be the krama. And if anybody have any questions or comments, you can ask now. And one thing, is my English is clear? Is it understandable, or it is too horrible to hear? Okay, there is one hand raised. Okay, if you have any questions or comments, you can ask now. And you know what we are discussing now, it is Ramayana, not only story. Along with the story, we are discussing many philosophical parts also, and I'm using this book. Maybe you can all get this book in Mayapur. This is by Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu, and he is making this very good translations. It has Govinda Acharya's commentary from Sri Sampradaya, and also one more commentary from Madhva Sampradaya also. And I'm referring different other books also from Sri Vaishnavas and Madhvas. So Ramayana is not just story; it has many various deep meanings, very sweet meanings also. So when you are reading this, at least during when we are reading and when we are hearing, we can get observed in Rama's thought. So with this, I stop here, and we will continue this lecture tomorrow. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. And if you wish, then you can inform to at least few people that this English Ramayana is happening, and if they want, they can also come and participate. Anyway, Ramayana is happening and people are there and they are watching in the mobile all the time. So if they can come and attend this Ramayana. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. We'll see tomorrow. Shri Valmiki Ramayana ki jai. Shri Valmiki Rishi ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.